Hi, I'm Mr. Bear. Welcome to your judge training session for the Topeka West Invitational Debate Tournament, October 27th and 28th. The first thing that I would like to say, just to start this training session off, is thank you so much. This is really an activity where we are reliant upon our community member judges in order to make debate happen. We just couldn't have a tournament without you. So I really want to sincerely thank you on behalf of myself, on behalf of the student who recruited you for a grade, and on behalf of really the community as a whole. We can't make this event or this activity run without the support of our community members. So really, truly, thank you. First, some logistical things. When you arrive on campus on that Friday or Saturday, please try to show up 15 to 20 minutes prior to your first round, and you can report to the library. If you're not familiar with our campus, the library is located on the north side of campus, and it is just immediately west of the main building. That's A building. The best way to get there is to park in the front parking lot, which is off of Fairlawn Road. And if you walk through the main building and walk up the ramp on the north side of campus, you can't miss it. You also won't be able to miss it because from wherever you arrive on campus, there are going to be tons of signs. There are going to be students directing you where to go, and there are going to be chalk arrows drawn on the sidewalk. We will do everything to let you know where to be. If you're not sure, ask somebody, and they'll be happy to point you that way. Now, you may be wondering at this point, well, when is my first scheduled round? Hopefully, you've been contacted 2 times by a debater, once to recruit you in the first place, and the second time to let you know, hey, here's what we have you down for, and here's where you need to be. Just in case that didn't happen, please feel free to just go ahead and contact me. You can see my email address on this slide. It is mbaer@tps501.org. That is BAER. Contact me. I will be happy to let you know what we have, and I'll be happy to make adjustments to it as we need to. So if you've never seen a debate round before, I'd like to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. This debate is going to happen in a high school classroom. We'll tell you where when you show up for registration in the library. And in this room, it's going to be yourself, and probably the only other folks in that room are going to be 2 teams of 2 student debaters. One of those teams is going to be the affirmative team. They're going to take a look at this year's debate resolution, which happens to be resolved the United States federal government should substantially increase its funding and or regulation of primary and or secondary education in the United States. It's kind of a mouthful. Short version would be the topic is education reform. The affirmative team is going to present a case for why we should do that, and they're going to have a specific plan for just exactly how the United States federal government ought to enact that resolution. The negative team is going to try to convince you that that plan is a bad idea. You shouldn't pass it because it would be better if you didn't, and they'll have all kinds of reasons why. You'll probably be the only judge in the room. Perhaps there will be 2 others depending on whether or not we have an excess of judges in that round. There needs to be an odd number because there are no ties in debate, and every judge needs to render their decision independently of any other judges. So that means we need an odd number. Probably you'll be the one. Rounds last around 80 minutes. So let's talk about what happens in that span of time. Okay, what you're looking at is a breakdown of the different speeches in a debate round and how long they are. And we can do some decoding here. You see, first of all, a lot of 1s and 2s on this list. Remember, each team is made up of 2 debaters. One of those debaters is the 1 and the other one is the 2. Remember also that there are 2 teams, the affirmative team and the negative team. So here we see, okay, this is the first affirmative speaker. First negative speaker. All right, well, now we've got these C's and R's. What's going on with those? Okay, well, these are the 2 different types of speech in a debate round. The first 4 speeches are called constructives. First affirmative constructive, first negative constructive, second affirmative constructive, second negative constructive. A constructive speech is one in which the debater is reading new evidence and adding new arguments to build their case. Each of these 8-minute constructive speeches are followed by 3 minutes of cross-examination. This is a chance for the member of the opposing team to talk to the person who just gave that speech, to ask them questions in order to clarify what their argument is. And if they're smart, they will also use those questions as a way of setting up their own arguments. The final 4 speeches in a debate round are called rebuttals, and they're just slightly different from constructive speeches. First of all, they are shorter. You see that these rebuttal speeches are 5 minutes long, not 8. The other thing that you're going to notice in your rebuttal speeches is that whereas in constructives we are adding new arguments and adding new evidence, rebuttals are more about evaluating the arguments that have been made in the round up to this point. We want to have a debate run that way because if people are able to make brand new arguments for the entire debate, then this speaker down here, the 2AR, would be really smart to just hold on to their best argument until the very end of the round and then win because nobody gets to answer them. But that's not how we do it. So you should not be hearing brand new arguments in rebuttals. And I'm sure if that happens, the opposing team is probably going to let you know just exactly why you shouldn't stand for it. Now, these are all the speeches and how long they are. The only thing that's left off of this list is prep time. Prep time is any time in the round when it is one team's turn to speak, but they're not ready to speak. And they get 5 minutes throughout the entire round when they're not speaking to be preparing. That's a running clock. That's not like 5 minutes after each speech. My goodness, you would be here all day long. So you should not feel like you have to keep track of any of these times, by the way. Most likely the teams are going to come prepared to time their speeches, to time their opponent's speeches, and to keep track of their prep time and their opponent's prep time because that's normal. That's what we do every weekend. However, if for some reason you need somebody to come in and keep time during that round, no problem. Stick your head out into the hall, and there should be a Topeka West student ready and willing to time that round for you. Let's talk about your role as the judge. There are really 3 responsibilities that you have as a debate judge. The first is that you must choose a winning team, and you're going to receive a ballot when you're in the library. That ballot is where you're going to be recording the important information from the round. So one item on that ballot is going to be which side was the winning team. They're going to have a team name. It's going to be their school. You're going to mark the school. You're going to write which side they were on, either affirmative or negative. All of this is very plainly addressed on your ballot. The other thing that you're going to need to do is rank each of the speakers. There are 4 speakers in a round. One of them is going to get the rank of 1. That means that they were the best in the round. One of them is going to get the rank of 4. That means they were the weakest in the round. One's going to get the 2 and one's going to get the 3. It is a unique score. You must use all 4 of those rankings, and no more than one debater can receive any one of those scores. The final thing that we would love for you to do is there's plenty of space on this ballot for you to write down your comments on the round. Please do that. I can tell you as a judge, as a coach, and I think I can speak for other debate coaches as well, the ballot is our most useful educational tool. It gives us an idea of what students did in the round, what we did that worked well, what we did that maybe didn't work so well. And you might not feel like you're an expert in debate, but I will tell you that I am constantly seeing on ballots things that affirm the stuff that I teach my students in class. about how to adapt